Let's see. So I've already talked about politics, about rape, a little bit about drugs. I know. Let's talk about religion. Hey guys, what's up? So this is a topic I will hopefully only talk about once. There are plenty of other YouTubers and just people beating this horse to death on a daily basis. And instead of talking about any particular religion or specific scripture or specific belief system, I just wanted to talk generally about my beliefs and quote-unquote leaps of faith. I guess the term you would use to describe me would be agnostic atheist, although really I don't give a shit what term people use. I'm just whatever a person is who doesn't have a belief in God because it hasn't been sufficiently proven that any God or religion is correct. So I'm sure this situation is something that pretty much all of you have experienced regardless of which side of the conversation you're on. So you'll be talking to a religious person, or you'll be a religious person talking to someone else, and eventually the conversation comes down to, well, it's just faith, or some other variant of that. So what is faith? So let's look at my trusty phone right here. And the definition, at least in this context, is a firm belief in something for which there is no proof. And personally, this is where my brain just basically short circuits. It gives me a blue screen of death. I can't pass go. I can't collect $200. I can't. Like, I would love for people to explain this to me, because honestly, and I'm not trying to sound condescending here, I'm just not capable of truly believing in something without evidence. Especially something like as abstract as God, when you're trying to like say so specifically that you know what, how the universe works or who made it or like exactly what the answer is. I just don't get that. And again, this isn't me trying to say that I'm better or smarter. I know plenty of people, both in my real life and just people in general, who are probably way smarter than me. It's just, I view taking that kind of leap of faith as lying to yourself, and I'm just not capable of doing that. And I guess for me personally, I had it kind of easy, so I can't really speak to other people's experiences or how hard it is, because I was raised in a pretty secular family. I mean, I was baptized. My parents were never like, hey, little Timmy, God doesn't exist. It was never anything like that. If anything, it was even a kind of religious family. I mean, we celebrated religious holidays. We were religious, but it was never forced on me. We never went to church every Sunday. When we did go to church, it was like a non-denominational church. I was pretty much allowed to think for myself, so I never really had to drop an old belief system. So I don't really get how hard that is, because I'm sure it's pretty hard. Okay, part 2 to this video is just me bringing up some common arguments I hear, or some common reasons explaining faith, and I just kind of wanted to go just through a couple of them and give my views on them. Alright, so numero uno, probably one of the most well-known, the most common, is Pascal's wager. And Pascal's wager is basically just, hey, why not? Just do it. But seriously, Pascal's wager is basically saying that you might as well have faith in God, because no harm, no foul. I mean, if you have faith in God and you're wrong, then whatever, no consequences. If you're right, then cool, you get to go to heaven. But if you don't have faith in God and you're wrong, then you're gonna burn in hell. And I think this is just pretty shitty reasoning, because number one, it would have to be actually a truly held belief, so you would actually have to believe it. And that, I'm not capable of that. Because if there actually was an all-knowing God, he would know whether or not you actually believed in something or not. And number two, if getting into heaven actually relied on just like playing the slot machine of faith and picking the right religion, else you burn in hell for eternity, honestly, fuck that God, I don't care. I'm just gonna burn in hell. Like, there are gonna be plenty of cool people in hell. Alright, so another argument I have heard a lot is everyone has faith, so therefore having religious faith is really no different. And I feel like this is just kind of a cop-out. It's just kind of a cop-out to believe anything. I mean, yes, if you want to, like, say that I have faith in molecules or gravity or anything in the universe, I mean, for all we know, we could all be plugged into the Matrix. I mean, really, we can't know anything for sure. But there is a difference between making logical assumptions about how the world works versus, like, just making an unfounded guess about something. I mean, like, I have faith, and I wouldn't even really call it faith. I just make educated guesses that, yeah, gravity's probably real. But if someone tomorrow were to prove to me that it's actually trillions of invisible unicorns holding us all down to this earth, I would believe it. I mean, that's how science works. We don't know everything, and we prove things wrong, but you actually have to prove things, and you gain more and more knowledge, and you continually expand your beliefs. And just throwing a random thing out there and just believing in it with no evidence is something completely different. So I just don't buy that at all. Alright, so last point I'm gonna talk about is the whole we are so lucky, or the universe is so beautiful, or life couldn't possibly exist, or how did the universe start, or blah blah blah. You all know the kind of gist I'm getting to. That none of this would be possible without some kind of divine being. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, when I look at the night sky, when I think about how insanely lucky we are, when I think of how beautiful the universe is, when I hear just super emotional music and it touches your heartstrings, and I see people do selfless actions, like, there are a lot of things in this world that are truly amazing. There are a lot of things that are awe-inspiring. And you can be appreciative of those things. I just don't really see a need to insert God into it. I mean, really, it's just the God of the gaps. I mean, there's almost certainly going to be things that we don't understand. And like I said, we're learning more and more every day, but you can't just because you don't know something doesn't mean that you should say that God did it. Alright, so to avoid making this video like 20 minutes long, because honestly I could probably drone on about this for like an hour, I'm gonna stop here, but I think it was a pretty decent summation of how I feel about this subject. And if any of you want to comment below about how you feel, or add anything to the discussion, you are more than welcome to do that. And if you want to like, favorite, or subscribe, that would also be appreciated. So until next time, I will see you all later. Thank you very much.